And very powerful presentation, Tyrus, bringing in Gloria and some of the other experts on the ground. One of the guys actually said that if you're denying it's a crisis on the border, not only are you being dishonest, you're being dishonest with malice.
Yeah, malice is always a great word when it's used properly. But there's something about feet on the ground. People are actually living in the moment. And I think what was starting to go kind of south, I think the president was kind of getting at a loss for words there when he brought Gloria in. Phenomenal job, Gloria, out there. But people can feel that, they understand that, and you take the politics out and you go with the facts and what's going on there. That was bipartisan, straight up. This is how it is. This is how we're dealing with it. And that's what the American people need to see. So that was great information. And if you had issues, if you were just listening to the stuff going on in Washington, after seeing that interview, you would start thinking, you know what, maybe there's something going on that's not just hyperbole and division. So that was a wonderful interview. Your PR blood was boiling, Dan.
I was pumping.
And there was great hats.
Yeah, always more authoritative
hats.
When you have a hat like that.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, you know what, I'm learning a lot. This was a tremendous gift.
I might have to start wearing a hat like that. People really listen when you wear a hat like that. Yeah, it could mess up the hair. All right, Juan, you heard from the experts on the ground, 30-foot fence, assaults down, rock throwing down 65%. When deployed strategically, it's very, very effective.
Yeah, and thank you, President Obama. Because guess what? That section of wall was paid for back in 2009 as a repair job by, guess who? President Obama.
No, actually, we paid for it.
No, I'm just saying, because right now, you listen to this bluster and bluff coming from Trump, and you say, oh, is Trump putting up that wall? Trump hasn't built any wall. This is a repair job that was funded by President Obama. Look, I think Dana has a point. It's always good to get out of Washington.
Let me hear more about the point.
I'll tell you, because it's really important for him to get out because he's had a tough week. He's being sued by 20 states, including California, over his emergency declaration. They're asking him for his tax returns, and he's struggling with that one. Just today, he just withdrew the nomination of his ICE director, the guy he had up for that job. Nobody is clear on it except thinking that Stephen Miller, who's behind this failed immigration policy, didn't like the guy. Of course, the Senate and the House have gone after his spending.
He's not having a bad week. So let me just get this straight. You said since it's Obama's wall, you like it.
No. No, what I said was,
no,
because you guys focused on the idea that you had security people. They're saying, before this wall was here, we had a problem. Well, guess what? That's before the wall was there years ago and being repaired by Obama.
Is that what you're saying?
The wall
work when Obama
we don't need a sea to shining sea wall except in your imagination.
No, I agree. We don't need it all the way, but we need it strategically, right?
Yes, we do. That right there was the real-world application of everything that is going on that crosses borders. The crisis is not limited to, nor does it begin at our southern border. One of those gentlemen at the end mentioned that $50 billion flows only northward over and across ports of entry. Almost $30 billion is profit for the cartels in the drug industry. Since 2006, Mexico has been fighting militarily a kingpin strategy against all of their drug wars locally. What do we think that we're seeing? It's all of the effects from that. So it's not about simply human immigration crossing the southern border. It's because the push factors coming south of the borders are so strong, so complicated, and so now long-term invested that that's what we're dealing with. So I love that the president also brought in the broader conversation of including Mexico in that, because it's about time for some diplomacy so that we can either help or stop it.
Yeah, important to hear the grisly reality of the drug war, talking about they find 100 bodies a year just buried in the desert.
Well, that's why I think that, so the president, I would keep him out on the road at least once a week, because when you're in the Roosevelt room or the cabinet room and you bring the cameras in, or let's just say that maybe he's just headed into Mar-a-Lago on Fridays and he talks to the cameras on his way out to the helicopter, it looks repetitive. You have to change the scene in order to change the storyline. I also think that every day this week he's had a different position on Mexico. There was going to be closing the border, then they're not closing the border. Then we're thinking about tariffs, but maybe not for a year. But maybe, now today he is praising the Mexican president, which maybe that actually works in terms of getting the Mexican president to do more. But I would do this. We all know that the answer to all of these problems resides in Congress.
Right.
So I would focus like a laser beam on Congress, but make them follow you. Get out there, get on the border, or wherever, if you talk about health care, wherever it's going to be, don't do it from the Roosevelt Room, because it is not effective.
Now, do you think this is going to be a game changer, like Dana said, to get out on the road, change the optics, and force maybe one of these Democrat congressmen or senators to go visit and hear from the experts?
Again, I'll go back to Gloria. Phenomenal job. It changed the conversation.
Yep.
It went from Juan's expression was like, here we go again, to, you know what is she talking about? Well, it's interesting. And that's important to what we need. And here's the thing about the flip-flopping of the story every day. I'm going to get his back a little bit on this one, because I think you're saying, and this I would say this Jesse Waters' hair is off to the right and I don't like it. Sir, it's actually off to the left. Maybe we should change it. The next day, it's actually off to the left. So he's listening to his people, where he's often criticized for not. He'll say something and go, actually, Mr. President, if we close the border, our economy is going to be in big trouble. So the next day, like, okay, you got a year. So I'm actually okay with that, because he's known for going off the cuff. He's known for getting a little emotional and saying, well, guess what, we're going to do this. And he's listening to his experts. So let's not be.
My point on that is that it takes the focus off of Congress.
Yeah. Well, that's what they want. Because no one at this table's got a Congress T-shirt.
Gee, I wonder who politicized this issue in the first place. I think it's
Obama.
Donald Trump, who said Mexico was going to pay for this. But let me just stop for a second. Forget that for a second. Remember, spending on a wall does nothing to stop the infusion of families, and especially families with children. We're not talking about an invasion. We're not talking about we're talking about most of the people coming right now, families with children. A wall does nothing to do that. It does nothing in terms of the added wall, in terms of the detention facilities that are needed to accommodate these people at this moment. That's the crisis, Jesse. That's the real crisis.
The families are pawns of the cartels. That is just a small portion of that
I'm just saying, remember,
smuggling industry.
Remember, Emily, this is not mostly Mexicans. These are people coming from Central America. There are different rules in terms of asylum for the Mexicans.
Yeah, so that's why I would focus on Congress and make them fix that part.
Well, I think Democrats want to do something about the facilities, the detention facilities, the judges,
do something about the asylum laws, they won't have to do those.
But Trump has done so much to politicize it that he has us stuck.
I've always tried to make a human connection. That's my responsibility, I think. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been.
There's Joe Biden. You may have seen him by now, responding to growing allegations of inappropriate contact with women. The former VP expected to run for president, saying that he will be more mindful about respecting personal space in the future, but not directly apologizing. Former DNC chair, Fox News contributor down in Brazil, with us now. How you doing? And good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, Bill.
Well ensconced in the swamp, I see there. What did you think when you heard and saw Joe Biden's 2-minute explanation yesterday?
Well, Bill, let me just say this. I've known Joe Biden for over 30 years. He has never been inappropriate with me. I think he's an honorable and decent human being who said yesterday in that video that he owns his mistakes. He takes responsibility. He will change the way he interacts with people, with constituents, with people who love him as well. Look, Joe Biden is someone who has comforted me on many occasions, whether it was the death of my mom, the death of my dad, of course, Hurricane Katrina. I understand who Joe Biden is, but I also respect the fact that women are speaking up now. They are telling their truth, and they're saying to men, not just Joe Biden, they're saying this to men from everywhere, because, you know, this is that moment. We're saying, hey, back off. Why don't you respect us, have some space, and we can continue to have this wonderful conversation.
A couple of things here. You have 3 more make accusations overnight. I don't know. Are there 3 more over the next 24 hours? We don't know. I don't know how you react to that. And I don't know how you react to some Democrats who are quoted as saying he will not directly apologize. Your take on that?
Well, this is not about just the volume of people who are saying that I was touched on my shoulder, behind my back, and perhaps somewhere else. I respect the fact that these women are coming forward. After all, that is what we must do. Sexual harassment and sexual assault are grave issues, and no one is making allegations of that nature. As you know, those allegations were made against the President of the United States. What I'm saying as a woman and somebody who cares deeply about our society, care deeply about how people are treated, is that Joe Biden is doing what we want men to do as well as any other human being, which is to respect women, respect human beings, period. And I don't believe that this is disqualifying.
Do you believe he's running?
I don't know. I have not personally talked to Joe Biden. I know Joe Biden. I'm trying not to get into that space where I'm advising candidates, although I've met with several of them because I'm a Democrat. I run into everyone. Look, Joe Biden has a resume. He has a proven record. He has some of the best experiences, not just as a United States Senator, but the Vice President of the United States. He has every opportunity to think this through. And by the way, I'm going to just say it because I want to be just a little controversial. If Hillary Clinton wakes up tomorrow morning and decides that, hey, you know what, I might want to give this another try, go for it. If Al Gore, go for it. John Kerry, go for it. Go for it because this is the United States of America. And everyone deserves that opportunity to run if they so decide. We will choose, by the way, the voters will decide.
What's so controversial about that?
I don't know, because people don't want you to tell your truth anymore. So I think it's important. Bill, are you interested in running? Because you never know. I might get off the sidelines.
Not at the moment, but if I do, I'll call you. A couple of things. You said you've met with a number of these candidates. Have you met with Beto O'Rourke?
No, I have not. And
the reason I asked is because he's raising money, $9.4 million reported for 18 days, about $500,000
and he just hired one of my friends. He just hired one of my friends to be his campaign manager. And I'm always happy when women are in position of leadership. So I don't know him very well. I've talked to people on Capitol Hill who know him a little bit better, but I'm not surprised that he's able to dip into that well of support that he received running for the United States Senate against Ted Cruz last year. He's going to have a terrific run in a Democratic primary, but will he come up with enough delegates to win? We don't know.
Okay, last question. Do you know Tim Ryan, the Democrat from Ohio?
Yes, I do.
He announced just about an hour earlier today. How big is this field going to get?
You know, Bill, I'm old enough to remember, I think, about 18 or 19 candidates in 1992. I was very excited about the number of candidates in 2008. I'm not afraid of a large number of candidates because, you know, after all, the voters in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Nevada will get the first try at, you know, looking under the hood and kicking the tire. The bottom line is it's not the number that matters. It's the quality of candidates, and we have great candidates who are running. Bill, can I make one last statement? Because this is, as you know, this is the 51st anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. I wouldn't be here, and many of my generation had Dr. King and many of the leaders of his time fought for civil rights and inclusion and respect for all people. So I just want to give a shout out to that amazing man that Dr. King was, because he inspired me to get involved in politics, and I just wish he was still around to see all of the wonderful work and the progress that we've made and the work that we must continue to do.
All right. Amen to that. Nice to see you. I think you're enjoying your time here, and I told you you would.
I am.
Donna Brazile.
I'm a silver fox, baby. See, I'm a silver fox, okay?
We'll see you soon. Donna Brazile, thank you.